On the same night, one driver celebrated a clean, official victory at Richmond Raceway, while 4 other teams were told their work was not done. NASCAR cleared the winner without a single issue, then pulled the cars of Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, and Shane van Gisbergen for additional testing. One organization walked away with a trophy and total clearance. Another walked away with a car headed for the lab. Here is exactly what happened. On Saturday night, August 15, 2026, Richmond Raceway hosted the Cookout 400, a lap race under the lights at the 3/4-mile Virginia short track. The race finished, the standard post-race inspection took place inside the garage, and the winner was cleared without any problem. That confirmation made the result official within hours. But the sanctioning body was not finished. Shortly after clearing the winner, NASCAR announced that 4 more cars were being sent back to the NASCAR Research and Development Center in Concord, North Carolina, for a deeper examination than anything the track can provide. This created a 2-layer situation. The primary post-race inspection at Richmond Raceway found no issues with any car, which is why the winner was declared official so quickly. Yet the same body that cleared the field then decided that 4 specific cars needed to return to the Research and Development Center. Nothing about the track inspection had stopped the result from standing. And nothing about the additional testing changed the winner. The 2 actions ran side by side. The winner was Joey Logano, driving the number 22 Team Penske Ford. The Team Penske driver led 95 laps and beat Briscoe to the checkered flag by 0.392 seconds. SARS. That margin came after 400 laps of racing. The victory was his second win of the 2026 season and the 3rd Richmond Raceway win of his career. And it was the 39th Cup Series victory of his career. Logano is a 3-time Cup Series champion, and at 36 years old, he had entered the night in the middle of the slowest start of his race-winning career. He had improved from 20th place to 9th place in just the last 6 races. The result at Richmond continued a rapid climb in the standings. He has now won twice in the last 4 races and jumped 4 positions to 9th in the Cup Series standings after Richmond Circle. He led 95 laps, won Stage 2, and moved into 9th place in the standings after sitting outside the top 16 just over a month earlier. Skloke, his number 22 Team Penske Ford, passed post-race inspection without issue, and while 4 cars had more testing ahead, Skloke, there was no such uncertainty surrounding the race winner. After reaching victory lane, Joey Logano spoke about the speed his team had found. "Skloke, don't let the boys get hot. We're pretty strong right now," Skloke, he said, according to the NASCAR Wire service. He described the win as Circler's sweet redemption. Cirque pointing to recent races at Richmond Raceway where his car had shown pace but had not converted it into a win. The fight for the win came down to the final stretch of the race. Circler Briscoe led a race-high 171 laps, but Logano took control around the final round of pit stops and never gave the position back. Natzert Souther Logano made his decisive move with about 24 laps remaining when he passed Christopher Bell on fresher tires. Hatzer Chase Briscoe later pointed to a brakes problem that developed late in the race and cost him the ability to challenge again. Speaking about finishing second after leading so many laps, he said, "Hatzer, it's weird to be mad running second here." Deckstroke, he added that being that close without sealing the win was frustrating. His runner-up finish, his first career top 10 at the 3/4-mile Richmond track, also locked him into the championship field. The rest of the running order filled in behind the leaders. Denny Hamlin finished 4th and holds the championship points lead, carrying a 115-point advantage over Ryan Blaney. Blaney had started from the pole, won Stage 1, and led 88 laps, but he faded to finish 13th. Chase Elliott completed the top 5. Dr. Kyle Larson, Bell, Josh Berry, William Byron, and Alex Bowman rounded out the top 10. Parsons only 11 cars finished on the lead lap in front of a sellout Richmond Raceway crowd. Doc Harster sucks. The way the race unfolded added to the picture. Joey Logano led 6 different times across the night. Ryan Blaney had commanded the opening segment, leading 60 of the 70 laps in Stage 1 to take a series-high 6-stage win of the 2026 season. The lone caution in the middle of the race came when Zane Smith spun on his own and hit the outside wall at lap 125. Only 12 cars were scored on the lead lap at the lap 230 caution that closed Stage 2. Austin Cindric and Daniel Suarez also had a close call on pit road at lap 180 when the number 2 came to its stall as the number 7 car exited, but the two drivers avoided contact and continued. The result also moved the championship picture forward. Following the Richmond race, 7 drivers had earned their title shot. Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott, and Christopher Bell. Ty Gibbs, who had won the previous week at Iowa Speedway, finished 15th after an early pit road penalty, while 5-race winner Tyler Reddick finished 11th. The 16-driver field advances to the championship round, a 10-race format that begins in 3 weeks at Darlington Raceway. Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher of RFK Racing, Carson Hocevar of Spire Motorsports, William Byron, Daniel Suarez of Spire Motorsports, and Bubba Wallace of 2311 Racing held the next positions in the standings. That is the part of the night that was settled. The part that was not settled involved 4 other cars. NASCAR announced that the following cars would return to the NASCAR Research and Development Center for engine dynamometer testing. The list included the number 2 Team Penske Ford of Austin Cindric, the number 9 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet of Chase Elliott, the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota of Christopher Bell, and the number 97 Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet of Shane van Gisbergen. There was an important distinction inside that group. All 4 cars were headed for engine dynamometer testing, but 2 of them faced an extra step. The number 9 of Chase Elliott and the number 20 of Christopher Bell were also being taken apart for a full teardown, a heavier level of scrutiny than the other 2 received. So while all 4 engines would be tested, only the Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing entries were being disassembled for a complete look. The reporting came from NASCAR reporter Dustin Long, who laid out the breakdown directly. According to his report, post-race inspection at Richmond was complete and all clear with no issues. And Joey Logano was the winner. He confirmed that the cars going to the Research and Development Center were the number 9 and number 20 for teardown, and the number 2, number 9, number 20, and number 97 for engine dynamometer testing. A separate post from Joseph Srigley confirmed the same breakdown, listing Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell for teardown and Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, and Shane van Gisbergen for the dynamometer. It is worth being precise about what this testing is and what it is not. Hesker's NASCAR did not announce a rules violation involving any of the 4 cars, nor did it say they failed the initial post-race inspection. Haslunk, there was no indication at this point that anything improper had been found with the 4 cars selected for additional testing. Haslunk, the distinction is important. Slunk, the additional work at the Research and Development Center gives the sanctioning body an opportunity to conduct a more extensive examination than what takes place at the track. Engine dynamometer testing measures horsepower output under controlled conditions, checking a car's power against what the rulebook allows. A teardown goes further by disassembling the car for a complete inspection. The Research and Development Center in Concord, North Carolina, houses the equipment required for that level of examination. And that equipment is not available inside the track garage at Richmond Raceway. Churns, the 4 drivers represented a wide range of results at Richmond.6. Their nights did not look alike, and the contrast is part of what makes the selection notable. 1 driver produced one of the biggest charges of the race, 2 locked in championship positions, and 1 held on to the final spot in the standings. Hasker Cindric delivered one of the night's biggest charges, climbing from 23rd on the starting grid to finish 3rd. That 3rd-place finish gave Team Penske 2 of the top 3 positions on the night. Cindric had started 23rd and gained a large number of spots on the opening pit cycle to drive into the top 5 during Stage 1, then held near the front for the rest of the night. It also carried weight in the standings, moving Austin Cindric from 16th to 15th, with the top 16 drivers advancing to the championship round. Chase Elliott started 13th and finished 5th in the number 9 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. Sir Elliott finished 5th after starting 13th, while Bell crossed the line 7th. So that 5th place result was notable on its own, marking his first top 10 finish in the last 9 races. A two-time winner during the season, Chase Elliott formally clinched his championship position with the effort and sits 6th in the standings. Christopher Bell finished 7th in the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, one position behind reigning series champion Kyle Larson. Christopher Bell also formally claimed a championship spot with his run at Richmond Raceway. Then there was Shane van Gisbergen, whose night looked less dramatic on paper but carried real weight in the standings. Oscar van Gisbergen, meanwhile, started 31st and finished 14th, a result that helped him maintain the 16th and final position in the Cup Series standings with 2 regular season races remaining. He is the season's 2 race winner, a driver who came to the United States as a road racing specialist with no pavement oval experience. He did not climb into the top 10 at Richmond, and he did not fight for the win. What his 14th place finish did was protect his hold on the last transfer spot in the championship field. That is where the stakes separate one driver from the rest. Shane van Gisbergen carries the most fragile position of the 4. Sklastril van Gisbergen placed 14th and strengthened his position in the final playoff spot. Dex Soki holds the 16th and final championship spot, and he took a 50-point edge over Ryan Preece into the next race. Ross Chastain sits 63 points behind his Trackhouse Racing teammate. With the regular season nearly over, the margin between making the championship field and missing it is thin, and any change to his result would be felt directly in the standings. Austin Cindric's third-place run also carried championship implications. His climb from 23rd to 3rd moved him inside the top 16, tightening his grip on a championship spot with only 2 races left before the field is locked. For a driver on the edge of the cut line, a strong finish at this stage of the season changes the math heading into the final 2 events. The situation also produced an unusual split inside one organization. Team Penske left Richmond Raceway with 2 very different outcomes. Joey Logano's winning number 22 Ford passed inspection and was cleared completely. His teammate Austin Cindric's number 2 Ford was sent to the Research and Development Center for engine dynamometer testing. The same organization received a trophy and full clearance on one car and a trip to the lab on another, all from the same race. From here, the schedule leaves little time for anything to settle slowly. Only 2 regular season races remain before the 16-driver championship field is set. The Cup Series heads next to New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Dollar Tree 301 on August 23, the second-to-last race of the regular season. That race is scheduled for 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and Ryan Blaney is the defending winner at the track. After that comes the finale at Daytona International Speedway on August 29, the last chance for drivers to lock in or lose a championship spot, till the results from the Research and Development Center and the engine dynamometer tests come back. The 4 teams remain in an open, unresolved status. Joey Logano remains the official winner of the Cookout 400, a result confirmed by the clean track inspection and unchanged by the additional testing. The cars of Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, and Shane van Gisbergen sit inside the process, with their engines tested and, in 2 cases, their cars taken apart. The teardown work on the number 9 of Chase Elliott and the number 20 of Christopher Bell and the dynamometer work on all 4 engines had not produced any public findings. For now, no violations had been announced, no failed inspections had been recorded, and the results of the additional testing had not yet been released.